Welcome back, cosmic explorers, to another journey through the mystical realms of astrology. The stars have aligned perfectly today as we dive deep into the fiery world of Aries and their most captivating zodiac connections. There's something truly magical about understanding which signs naturally gravitate toward each other, creating those instant sparks that feel written in the stars. Aries, the powerful ram of the zodiac, ruling from March 21st to April 19th, stands as the fearless pioneer, the first to charge forward into new territories. These natural-born leaders carry the essence of spring itself, renewal, energy, and an unstoppable life force that refuses to be contained. If you've ever encountered an Aries, you've felt that unmistakable presence, that magnetic pull of someone who lives life in bold strokes, whose passion ignites everything they touch. But even the most independent Aries feels drawn to certain cosmic companions who either mirror their fiery nature or complement it in unexpected ways. These connections aren't just random. They're celestial patterns, ancient as time itself, guiding us toward those who help us become our fullest selves. Today's exploration feels particularly significant as we've analyzed countless Aries relationships, consulted ancient astrological texts, and gathered insights from modern-day Aries individuals who've shared their most profound connections. What we've discovered reveals fascinating patterns about who captures the heart of the zodiac's warrior. The Aries spirit craves both challenge and understanding, someone who can match their intensity while appreciating their need for space and conquest. They seek partners who understand their impulsive nature isn't flightiness, but rather an expression of their zest for life. An Aries heart doesn't give itself lightly. When it does, it offers unparalleled loyalty and protection. Think about the Aries people in your life for a moment. Notice how they light up around certain individuals, how they seem to become even more vibrant, more themselves. That's the cosmic dance we're decoding today. The 4 signs that consistently create that special alchemy with Aries energy. What makes these connections so powerful isn't just romantic compatibility, though that certainly blazes bright, but something more fundamental, a soul recognition that transcends circumstance. These connections manifest as passionate romances, unbreakable friendships, productive business partnerships, and even those special mentor-student relationships that transform lives. Throughout human history, Aries individuals have been drawn to these 4 signs we're about to reveal, creating partnerships that have changed the course of history, produced revolutionary art, built empires, and written love stories that echo through generations. From Alexander the Great to Maya Angelou, countless Aries luminaries have found their perfect cosmic counterparts within these 4 signs. Before we unveil these special connections, take a moment to reflect on the Aries essence, that pioneering spirit, that courage to be first, that unstoppable drive that transforms dreams into reality. Whether you're an Aries yourself or someone who loves an Aries, understanding these natural affinities offers a window into deeper connection and appreciation. The Secret of the Zodiac community continues to grow because we believe astrological wisdom isn't just entertainment. It's a practical tool for self-understanding and improving our relationships. If you haven't joined our cosmic family yet, now's the perfect moment to hit subscribe and become part of this journey of discovery. Your support allows us to continue bringing these celestial insights to light. Are you ready to discover the 4 signs that make every Aries' heart race? The 4 cosmic companions that understand the ram's fiery heart like no others. Let's begin with the first sign, a fellow fire sign whose regal nature creates an immediate and explosive connection with Aries' pioneering spirit. First sign, Leo, the majestic ruler of the zodiac's celestial kingdom, stands as the primary sign that captures an Aries' heart and imagination. When these 2 fire signs connect, the cosmic sparks that fly aren't just visible, they're transformative, creating a bond that burns with unparalleled intensity and mutual admiration. The Leo-Aries connection represents perhaps the most natural alliance in the zodiac wheel, a partnership written in the stars since ancient times. The foundation of this extraordinary connection lies in their shared elemental nature. As fire signs, Leo and Aries speak the same primal language, one of passion, creativity, and bold self-expression. When an Aries encounters a Leo's radiant presence, something deep within them recognizes a kindred spirit. It's as if they've discovered someone who understands their internal fire without needing explanation, a rare gift for the often misunderstood Ram, who frequently burns too bright for others to comprehend. What makes this pairing particularly potent is how their planetary rulers complement each other in cosmic harmony. Aries, governed by Mars, the planet of action, courage, and conquest, brings raw initiative and pioneering energy to the relationship. Leo, ruled by the Sun itself, the literal center of our solar system, contributes warmth, generosity, and an innate ability to shine in any circumstance. Together, these influences create a relationship where both signs feel empowered to express their authentic selves while being genuinely celebrated by their partner. The Leo-Aries dynamic particularly thrives because both signs approach life with a refreshing directness. Neither has patience for mind games, passive-aggressive behavior, or emotional manipulation. Their communication flows with remarkable clarity. What you see is genuinely what you get. For Aries, who values honesty above almost all else, Leo's straightforward nature creates immediate trust. Meanwhile, Leo appreciates that an Aries partner will always tell them the unvarnished truth, even when others might hesitate out of fear of offending the lion's pride. Consider the natural leadership qualities both signs possess, and how beautifully they complement each other. Aries leads through initiative and fearless action, often being the first to charge into uncharted territory. Leo leads through inspiration and heart-centered conviction, rallying others through charisma and authentic passion. When these leadership styles merge, they create a partnership capable of moving mountains, each compensating for the other's blind spots while amplifying their strengths. The dynamic between these signs in creative endeavors deserves special attention. Leo brings artistic vision, dramatic flair, and an innate understanding of what will captivate an audience. Aries contributes the drive to actually complete projects, the courage to take creative risks, and the resilience to persevere through setbacks. Together, they've been responsible for some of history's most influential creative partnerships. Think of the groundbreaking collaborations between Aries filmmaker Quentin Tarantino and his Leo muses, whose creative alchemy has repeatedly revolutionized cinema. What truly seals this cosmic bond is the mutual respect that develops between these two proud signs. Leo genuinely admires Aries' courage, pioneering spirit, and willingness to be first, qualities the lion recognizes as reflections of their own best self. Aries is captivated by Leo's magnetic charisma, generosity of spirit, and ability to command attention without demanding it. This mutual admiration creates a virtuous cycle where each partner continually inspires the other to become their highest expression. The physical connection between Leo and Aries deserves mention, as it often forms the cornerstone of their relationship. Their intimate life typically blazes with creativity, playfulness, and an uninhibited expression that both signs find liberating. For Aries, who sometimes struggles with emotional vulnerability, the physical realm provides a safe space to express deeper feelings that words might fail to capture. Leo, meanwhile, receives the undivided attention and admiration they secretly crave, as few signs appreciate physical beauty and performance with the enthusiasm of an Aries. This isn't to suggest the Leo-Aries connection is without challenges. Two fire signs together occasionally create too much heat. Passionate disagreements can flare rapidly due to both signs' strong opinions and natural competitiveness. However, what distinguishes this pairing is how these conflicts typically resolve just as quickly as they erupt. Neither sign harbors resentment or withdraws into cold silence. Their arguments are direct, honest, and usually followed by equally passionate reconciliations that often strengthen rather than damage the bond. Historical examples of this dynamic abound in both romantic and creative partnerships. Consider the legendary collaboration between Aries entrepreneur Steve Jobs and Leo designer Jonathan Ive, whose combined vision revolutionized how we interact with technology. Their partnership perfectly exemplified how Leo's aesthetic brilliance and Aries' relentless drive create innovations that neither could achieve alone. What makes this pairing particularly valuable for Aries is Leo's ability to temper the ram's sometimes excessive impulsivity without dampening their enthusiasm. Leo introduces a steadier flame to Aries' wildfire, helping channel that raw energy into sustainable passion projects rather than scattered efforts. Meanwhile, Aries challenges Leo to move beyond their comfort zone, taking risks that the lion might otherwise avoid despite their natural courage. The friendship between these signs often becomes the stuff of legend, the kind of bond that withstands the test of time and becomes stronger with each shared adventure. An Aries-Leo friendship typically features spontaneous road trips, creative collaborations, and being each other's most enthusiastic supporters. They create a mutual admiration society where each celebrates the other's victories as their own, providing a support system that helps both navigate life's challenges with greater resilience. What's particularly remarkable about the Leo-Aries connection is how it evolves over time without losing its fundamental spark. Unlike some zodiac pairings that struggle to maintain their initial attraction, these two fire signs seem to discover new dimensions of each other with each passing year. The relationship deepens without sacrificing excitement, a rare quality that makes long-term Leo-Aries partnerships particularly enviable. For those born under other signs who observe a Leo-Aries relationship in action, the dynamic often appears as a masterclass in balancing independence with connection. Neither sign sacrifices their individuality or dims their light to accommodate the other. Instead, they create a relationship model based on mutual empowerment, where each partner's growth strengthens rather than threatens the bond. The Leo-Aries connection reminds us of a fundamental astrological truth. Sometimes the most powerful relationships aren't those that balance opposite energies, but those that amplify compatible ones. Like two instruments playing in perfect harmony, these fire signs create music together that neither could produce alone, a symphony of passion, creativity, and unbridled joy that enriches not just their lives, but the lives of everyone fortunate enough to be in their orbit. As powerful as this first cosmic connection is, it represents just one of the four signs that naturally captivate an Aries heart. Next, we'll explore the second sign that creates an equally magnetic but distinctly different resonance with Aries energy. Another fire sign whose philosophical nature and freedom-loving spirit forms a bond that's both invigorating and transformative. Second sign, Sagittarius, the cosmic archer whose arrows aim for distant horizons, forms a connection with Aries that embodies the purest expression of fire element harmony. This pairing completes the fire sign trinity in the zodiac, creating a bond characterized by mutual inspiration, philosophical growth, and an unquenchable thirst for adventure that keeps both signs perpetually engaged. When the ram meets the archer, their connection ignites not just passion, but a shared vision of life's boundless possibilities. The Sagittarius-Aries relationship thrives on their fundamentally aligned approach to existence. Both signs embrace life as an epic journey rather than a destination, a perspective that creates immediate resonance between them. While other signs might find Aries' constant need for new experiences exhausting, Sagittarius not only keeps pace, but often pushes the ram to explore even further beyond their comfort zone. This mutual encouragement creates a spiral of growth where each partner continuously expands the other's horizons. What distinguishes this connection from other compatible pairings is its foundation in philosophical alignment. Jupiter, Sagittarius's ruling planet, represents expansion, wisdom, and higher truth, elements that elevate Aries' Mars-driven instincts from mere action to purposeful journeys. When these planetary influences merge, the relationship transcends ordinary connection and becoming a partnership dedicated to discovering life's deeper meanings together. For Aries, who sometimes charges forward without contemplating the bigger picture, Sagittarius offers a broader contextual framework that gives their actions greater purpose. The communication between these signs flows with remarkable ease, Both value honesty to the point of bluntness, a quality others might find jarring but that creates profound trust between Aries and Sagittarius. Their conversations range from light-hearted banter to profound philosophical explorations, often within minutes of each other. This intellectual versatility keeps their connection perpetually fresh, as neither sign becomes bored with conversational patterns that might develop with other partners. Freedom functions as the cornerstone of their bond, with both signs inherently understanding each other's need for personal space and independence. Unlike relationships where Aries might feel suffocated by a partner's clinginess, or where Sagittarius might feel caged by possessiveness, this pairing creates a rare atmosphere of mutual liberation. They've intuitively grasped what many relationships take years to learn, that true intimacy requires giving each other room to breathe and grow individually. The adventurous spirit shared by these signs manifests in both physical explorations and intellectual quests. Their relationship timeline often reads like an adventure novel: spontaneous road trips, international travel, extreme sports, and constant learning endeavors. Sagittarius introduces Aries to philosophical traditions and cultural experiences they might otherwise overlook, while Aries pushes Sagittarius to take concrete action on their expansive ideas rather than just theorizing about possibilities. Consider how this dynamic plays out in the professional realm. An Aries-Sagittarius business partnership combines Aries' entrepreneurial drive with Sagittarius' visionary outlook, creating ventures that are both innovative and far-reaching. Historical examples abound of this powerful combination, from exploration teams to educational institutions founded by these signs. Their complementary strengths create organizations that not only succeed commercially, but contribute meaningful value to society. The physical connection between these signs deserves special mention, as it often forms a vital cornerstone of their relationship. Their intimate life typically embodies a perfect balance of passion and playfulness, with both signs approaching physical connection as another adventure to be enthusiastically embraced. Neither brings inhibition or judgment to this realm, creating a space of complete freedom and acceptance. For Aries, who sometimes struggles with vulnerability in other relationships, Sagittarius' non-judgmental nature creates a safe harbor for expressing desires without fear of rejection. What particularly fascinates astrological observers about this pairing is how it evolves over time. Unlike some connections that burn bright initially, but struggle to adapt to changing circumstances, the Aries-Sagittarius bond seems designed for long-term growth. Their shared adaptability means the relationship continually reinvents itself, transitioning through various phases without losing its essential spark. After decades together, these partners still discover new dimensions of each other, maintaining the excitement that characterized their first meeting. Challenges do exist within this fiery partnership, primarily centered around commitment and focus. Both signs can struggle with consistent follow-through, occasionally leaving projects half completed as new interests capture their attention. Additionally, their shared impulsivity sometimes leads to decisions made without sufficient consideration of consequences. However, what saves them from these potential pitfalls is their remarkable resilience and ability to learn from mistakes without harboring resentment. When difficulties arise, they face them with optimism and adaptability rather than fear or blame. The emotional landscape between Aries and Sagittarius bears examination, as it differs significantly from other zodiac pairings. Neither sign naturally dwells in emotional depths, preferring to process feelings through action and forward movement rather than introspection. This shared approach prevents the relationship from becoming bogged down in emotional analysis that might paralyze other partnerships. However, when genuine emotional connection does occur between them, it carries profound significance precisely because both recognize it as special rather than routine. Their conflict resolution style reflects their elemental nature: direct, sometimes heated, but remarkably efficient. Disagreements flare quickly, but resolve just as rapidly, with neither sign prone to holding grudges or engaging in emotional manipulation. This transparent approach to conflict actually strengthens their bond over time, as both partners know exactly where they stand with each other. The Sagittarius-Aries relationship demonstrates that conflict, when handled honestly, becomes not a threat to intimacy, but an opportunity for greater understanding. The learning dynamic between these signs creates a particularly fertile environment for personal growth. Sagittarius brings wisdom, perspective, and philosophical insight to the relationship, helping Aries understand the broader implications of their actions and decisions. Meanwhile, Aries offers Sagittarius practical application for their theoretical knowledge, transforming abstract concepts into tangible reality. This exchange creates a continuous cycle of growth where wisdom leads to action, which in turn generates new wisdom. Perhaps most valuable for Aries is how Sagittarius helps them develop patience, a quality not naturally associated with the Ram. The Archer's longer-term perspective gently expands Aries' sometimes compressed time horizon, teaching them that some journeys require sustained effort rather than immediate charges. This influence doesn't diminish Aries' signature spontaneity, but rather helps them discern when immediate action serves their goals and when strategic patience might prove more effective. For those born under other signs observing this dynamic, the Aries-Sagittarius connection offers a masterclass in combining passion with purpose. Their relationship demonstrates how two highly independent individuals can create a partnership that enhances rather than constrains their individual freedom, a model increasingly relevant in contemporary relationships where personal autonomy remains essential to fulfillment. Historical and mythological connections between these signs trace back to ancient archetypes. Aries, the warrior setting forth on quests, and Sagittarius, the wise centaur guiding heroes toward their destiny. This primordial resonance explains why their connection often feels predestined when they meet, as if they are recognizing rather than discovering each other. Their bond taps into archetypal patterns older than written history, explaining its immediate familiarity. The creative potential between these signs deserves special acknowledgement. When Aries and Sagittarius collaborate artistically, they produce work characterized by both boldness and vision, art that not only captures attention, but expands consciousness. Their creative partnerships have produced revolutionary movements in literature, visual arts, and philosophy throughout history. The Aries provides the courage to break boundaries, while Sagittarius contributes the broader perspective that gives these innovations meaning beyond mere novelty. What ultimately distinguishes the Sagittarius-Aries connection from other compatible pairings is its extraordinary balance of freedom and intimacy, elements often viewed as contradictory in relationships. They've discovered the secret that true connection doesn't require fusion or sacrifice of individuality, but rather thrives on mutual support for each partner's unique journey. Their relationship doesn't constrain their horizons, but exponentially expands them through shared exploration. As we consider the four signs that naturally attract Aries, Sagittarius represents perhaps the most philosophically aligned, a cosmic mirror that reflects Aries' adventurous spirit while adding depth and perspective to their natural impulses. Their connection reminds us that sometimes the most powerful relationships aren't those that complete us, but those that inspire us to continue growing into our fullest potential. This fiery, freedom-loving bond between the Ram and the Archer represents just the second of four powerful zodiac attractions that captivate Aries. Next, we'll explore how Aries finds unexpected but powerful resonance with an air sign whose mental agility and communicative brilliance creates a completely different but equally magnetic connection. Third sign, Gemini, the celestial twins whose dual nature bridges worlds of thought and communication, creates a connection with Aries that defies conventional astrological expectations. This air-fire dynamic generates intellectual fireworks that continually stimulate both signs, creating a partnership that never grows stale or predictable. When the Ram meets the twins, they discover a mental playground where ideas flow freely and conversations never follow expected paths. The foundation of this fascinating connection lies in complementary rather than similar energies. Unlike the fire sign bonds Aries forms with Leo and Sagittarius, The Gemini-Aries relationship thrives on the fundamental difference between air and fire elements. Gemini's quick-moving intellectual energy fans Aries' flames of passion and action, while Aries provides the decisive force that helps transform Gemini's brilliant ideas into tangible reality. This elemental dance creates a partnership where each sign's natural strengths address the other's blind spots. What particularly captivates Aries about Gemini is their intellectual versatility and communicative brilliance. The Ram, while determined and courageous, sometimes lacks the verbal dexterity to articulate their visionary ideas. Enter Gemini, whose Mercury rulership grants them unparalleled skill in expressing even the most complex concepts with clarity and wit. For Aries, finding someone who can not only keep pace with their rapid-fire thoughts, but actually translate them into compelling language feels like discovering a missing piece of themselves. The conversational dynamic between these signs deserves special attention, as it forms the cornerstone of their connection. Their discussions rarely follow linear paths, instead leaping between topics with an exhilarating spontaneity that both find stimulating. While others might find this communication style disjointed, Aries and Gemini experience it as perfectly natural, a reflection of how their minds naturally work. This shared intellectual rhythm creates immediate rapport, as if they've discovered someone who finally speaks their language. Curiosity functions as the lifeblood of their relationship. Both signs approach life with an explorer's mindset, though they investigate different territories. Aries tends toward physical challenges and leadership opportunities, while Gemini gravitates toward intellectual puzzles and social dynamics. When these exploratory instincts combine, they create partnerships that continuously discover new frontiers together. This mutual discovery prevents the stagnation that Aries particularly dreads in relationships. The learning exchange between these signs creates an especially fertile environment for growth. Gemini introduces Aries to multiple perspectives on any situation, helping the sometimes single-minded Ram recognize nuance and alternative viewpoints. Meanwhile, Aries teaches Gemini the power of committed action and follow-through, qualities that don't always come naturally to the Mercurial twins. This mutual education happens organically through their interaction, rather than through deliberate instruction, making it particularly effective. Consider how this dynamic manifests in professional collaborations. An Aries-Gemini business partnership combines Aries' entrepreneurial drive with Gemini's communicative genius, creating ventures particularly successful in media, education, or any field requiring both innovation and effective messaging. Historical examples abound, from revolutionary publications to groundbreaking educational institutions founded by these signs working in tandem. Their complementary skills create organizations that not only succeed commercially, but significantly influence cultural conversations. The playful element of their relationship deserves special mention. Both signs maintain youthful spirits regardless of chronological age, approaching life with a sense of wonder that keeps their connection perpetually fresh. Their shared love of games, whether intellectual challenges, physical competitions, or playful banter, creates a relationship filled with laughter and lightheartedness. This playfulness prevents their bond from becoming too serious or constrained by convention, a quality particularly important for freedom-loving Aries. What particularly distinguishes the Gemini-Aries connection from other compatible pairings is its perfect balance of stability and novelty. Their relationship never falls into predictable routines that might bore the adventure-seeking Ram, yet maintains enough consistency to satisfy Aries' need for reliability in close relationships. Gemini's natural adaptability means they can shift between different modes of interaction, depending on circumstances, providing Aries with the variety they crave within a single relationship. The mental stimulation between these signs extends beyond conversation into shared activities. They excel at collaborative projects requiring both creative thinking and decisive action, from planning unconventional travel adventures to launching innovative business ventures. Their approach typically involves Gemini generating multiple possibilities, while Aries selects the most promising option and drives implementation. This division of cognitive labor plays to each sign's natural strengths while mitigating their individual weaknesses. Challenges do exist within this dynamic pairing, primarily centered around emotional depth and consistency. Gemini's tendency toward intellectual analysis sometimes creates emotional distance that can frustrate Aries' desire for straightforward emotional connection. Additionally, both signs can struggle with long-term focus, occasionally leaving projects half completed as new interests capture their attention. However, their shared adaptability and resilience allow them to navigate these challenges with remarkable success when both are committed to the relationship. The social dimension of their partnership creates particularly fertile ground for growth. Gemini introduces Aries to diverse social circles and perspectives they might otherwise miss, expanding the ram's sometimes narrowly focused worldview. Meanwhile, Aries gives Gemini the courage to express controversial ideas and take social risks they might otherwise avoid. Together, they create a social presence greater than either could manifest individually, becoming the couple that consistently elevates any gathering through their combined charisma and conversational brilliance. Their conflict resolution style reflects their elemental natures, direct yet intellectually nuanced. When disagreements arise, Aries contributes honesty and courage to address issues head-on, while Gemini brings communicative skill and multiple perspectives to find creative resolutions. This combination prevents conflicts from either festering unaddressed or escalating into unproductive arguments. Their disagreements typically transform into opportunities for greater understanding rather than sources of lingering resentment. What particularly fascinates astrological observers about this pairing is how it evolves over time. Unlike some connections that struggle to adapt to changing circumstances, the Aries-Gemini bond seems designed for continuous renewal. Their shared adaptability means the relationship constantly reinvents itself, transitioning through various phases without losing its essential spark. After years together, these partners still discover new facets of each other, maintaining the excitement that characterized their first meeting. The physical connection between these signs deserves acknowledgement, as it often takes on a uniquely mental quality. Their intimate life typically combines Aries' passionate directness with Gemini's playful versatility, creating experiences that engage both body and mind. Communication flows freely in this realm, with both partners unafraid to express desires and experiment with new approaches. This intellectual component of physical connection keeps their intimate life perpetually fresh and engaging for both signs. Perhaps most valuable for Aries is how Gemini helps them develop flexibility, a quality not naturally associated with the sometimes stubborn Ram. The twins' ability to see multiple sides of any situation gently expands Aries' sometimes rigid perspective, teaching them that adaptability represents strength rather than compromise. This influence doesn't diminish Aries' signature decisiveness, but rather helps them make more informed choices by considering alternatives before charging forward. Historical and mythological connections between these signs trace back to ancient archetypes. Aries, the warrior setting forth on quests, and Gemini, the messenger bringing crucial information that guides the hero's journey. This primordial resonance explains why their connection often feels immediately significant when they meet, as if they're reconnecting rather than just getting acquainted. Their bond taps into narrative patterns older than written history, explaining its familiar yet exciting quality. For those born under other signs observing this dynamic, the Aries-Gemini connection offers valuable lessons in combining action with information, a balance increasingly essential in our knowledge-based society. Their relationship demonstrates how apparently different approaches to life can create perfect complementarity when each partner values the other's unique gifts rather than trying to impose their own style. The creative potential between these signs manifests particularly in innovative thinking. When Aries and Gemini collaborate intellectually, they generate ideas characterized by both originality and practicality, concepts that not only break new ground, but actually work in real-world application. Their creative partnerships have launched revolutionary approaches in technology, communication, and education throughout history. The Aries provides the courage to implement bold new concepts, while Gemini contributes the intellectual flexibility that allows continuous refinement and adaptation. What ultimately distinguishes the Gemini-Aries connection from other compatible pairings is its extraordinary combination of mental stimulation and decisive action, elements often difficult to balance in relationships. They've discovered the powerful synergy created when quick thinking meets bold implementation, creating partnerships that not only envision new possibilities, but actually bring them into being. Their relationship demonstrates that sometimes the most powerful attractions occur not between similar energies, but between complementary forces that each provide what the other lacks. As we explore the 4 signs that naturally attract Aries, Gemini represents perhaps the most intellectually stimulating, a cosmic mirror that reflects Aries' bold ideas while adding communicative brilliance and versatile thinking. Their connection reminds us that sometimes the most powerful relationships aren't those that reinforce our existing patterns, but those that expand our repertoire of responses to life's challenges. 4th sign, Aquarius, the cosmic revolutionary whose vision extends beyond conventional boundaries, creates a connection with Aries that embodies the perfect fusion of innovation and initiative. This air-fire dynamic generates a relationship that consistently breaks new ground, challenging both partners to transcend limitations they might accept in other relationships. When the ram meets the water bearer, they discover a partner who matches their courage while expanding their conception of what's possible. The foundation of this extraordinary connection lies in a shared commitment to authenticity and independence. Both signs refuse to be constrained by social expectations or conventional wisdom, creating an immediate recognition between them as fellow free spirits. While Aries expresses this independence through bold action and self-determination, Aquarius manifests it through intellectual sovereignty and visionary thinking. Together they create a relationship free from the constraints that might stifle growth in other partnerships. What particularly captivates Aries about Aquarius is their unflinching originality and refusal to follow predetermined paths. The ram, while boldly pioneering, sometimes operates within established frameworks of achievement and success. Enter Aquarius, whose Uranian influence grants them the ability to envision entirely new paradigms, rather than merely excelling within existing ones. For Aries, encountering someone who can conceptualize completely novel approaches to life's challenges feels like discovering an unexpected ally in their quest for meaningful impact. The intellectual connection between these signs deserves special attention, as it forms a cornerstone of their bond. Their discussions rarely follow predictable patterns, instead exploring unconventional perspectives that challenge established thinking. While Aries contributes decisive clarity and pragmatic focus to these exchanges, Aquarius brings visionary breadth and systematic analysis. This intellectual complementarity creates conversations that not only stimulate both partners, but often generate genuinely innovative solutions to complex problems. Freedom functions as the lifeblood of their relationship. Both signs require substantial personal space and autonomy, creating a partnership based on mutual respect for independence rather than possession or control. Unlike relationships where Aries might feel constrained by a partner's emotional needs, or where Aquarius might feel pressured toward conventional commitments, this pairing naturally honors each person's need for self-determination. Their connection demonstrates that true intimacy emerges from chosen proximity between whole individuals rather than codependent merging. The humanitarian dimension of their bond creates particularly fertile ground for shared purpose. Aquarius introduces Aries to broader social concerns and collective movements, expanding the ram's sometimes individually focused energy toward community impact. Meanwhile, Aries gives Aquarius the courage and decisive leadership to transform theoretical ideals into tangible change. Together, they've historically catalyzed significant social innovations, from technological breakthroughs to progressive reforms that improve conditions for marginalized groups. Consider how this dynamic manifests in collaborative projects. An Aries-Aquarius partnership combines Aries' initiating drive with Aquarius' innovative vision, creating ventures particularly successful in technology, social enterprise, or any field, requiring both decisive leadership and paradigm-shifting concepts. Their complementary approaches create organizations that not only succeed, but genuinely transform their industries through revolutionary thinking implemented with bold determination. The evolutionary potential between these signs creates an especially progressive relationship. Neither Aries nor Aquarius tolerates stagnation, ensuring their partnership continuously develops rather than settling into comfortable patterns. This shared commitment to growth means they regularly challenge each other's assumptions and comfort zones, creating a dynamic where both partners evolve faster together than they would separately. For development-oriented Aries, finding a partner who naturally facilitates continuous improvement feels profoundly right. What distinguishes the Aquarius-Aries connection from other compatible pairings is its perfect balance of stability and innovation. Their relationship never calcifies into rigid routines that would suffocate either sign's need for freshness, yet maintains enough consistency to satisfy Aries' desire for reliability in close bonds. Aquarius's fixed sign nature provides the constancy that sometimes eludes Aries, while Aries' cardinal energy prevents Aquarius from becoming too detached or theoretical in their approach to the relationship. The friendship dimension of their connection deserves special acknowledgement, as it often forms the enduring foundation of their bond, regardless of other relational dynamics. Even in romantic partnerships, Aries and Aquarius maintain a fundamental friendship characterized by mutual respect, shared interests, and genuine enjoyment of each other's company. This friendship creates resilience that helps them navigate challenges that might destabilize relationships built primarily on romantic attraction or practical compatibility. Challenges do exist within this dynamic pairing, primarily centered around emotional expression and processing. Aquarius's tendency toward intellectual analysis sometimes creates emotional distance that can frustrate Aries' desire for more direct emotional engagement. Additionally, both signs can struggle with vulnerability, occasionally creating relationships that, while stimulating, lack the emotional depth that sustains long-term intimacy. However, when both partners recognize and consciously address these tendencies, they create bonds that combine intellectual stimulation with genuine emotional connection. The decision-making dynamic between these signs creates particularly effective outcomes. Their approach typically involves Aquarius generating innovative possibilities and systematic analysis, while Aries contributes decisive implementation and practical refinement. This cognitive partnership allows them to make choices that are both forward-thinking and pragmatically sound, avoiding both the impulsivity that sometimes characterizes Aries' solo decisions and the theoretical detachment that can limit Aquarius's individual effectiveness. What particularly fascinates astrological observers about this pairing is how it balances seemingly contradictory energies. Aries' intensely personal drive and self-determination might appear at odds with Aquarius's collective focus and emotional objectivity. Yet in practice, these differences create perfect complementarity, each providing exactly what the other needs for complete expression of their potential. Their relationship demonstrates that apparent opposites often contain precisely the elements needed for mutual completion. The technological affinity between these signs deserves mention in our increasingly digital world. Aquarius's natural understanding of systems and innovation pairs perfectly with Aries' early adopter enthusiasm, creating partnerships that consistently pioneer new technological frontiers. From early computer development to contemporary digital innovations, Aries-Aquarius collaborations have repeatedly transformed how humanity interacts with technology. This shared interest provides an ever-evolving playground for their combined talents. Perhaps most valuable for Aries is how Aquarius helps them develop perspective, the ability to see beyond immediate circumstances to recognize larger patterns and possibilities. The water bearer's natural tendency toward big-picture thinking gently expands Aries' sometimes narrowly focused vision, teaching them that broader awareness enhances rather than dilutes effective action. This influence doesn't diminish Aries' signature intensity, but rather helps them direct it toward truly significant targets rather than temporary objectives. Historical and contemporary examples of this dynamic abound in both romantic and collaborative contexts. Consider the partnership between Aries-born entrepreneur Elon Musk and his Aquarian collaborators at SpaceX and Tesla, whose combined energies have revolutionized multiple industries through the perfect fusion of bold implementation and visionary innovation. Their success exemplifies how the Aries-Aquarius dynamic creates achievements neither could accomplish alone. The communication style between these signs reflects their elemental nature, direct yet conceptually expansive. When exchanging ideas, Aries contributes clarity and purposeful focus, while Aquarius brings systemic understanding and innovative perspectives. This combination prevents their discussions from either narrowing into simplistic solutions or expanding into impractical theories. Their conversations typically generate approaches that are simultaneously groundbreaking and implementable, a rare combination in problem-solving discussions. For those born under other signs observing this dynamic, the Aries-Aquarius connection offers valuable lessons in combining individuality with collective purpose, a balance increasingly essential in our interconnected yet personalized society. Their relationship demonstrates how strong individual identity can actually enhance rather than detract from meaningful contribution to larger social systems when both personal sovereignty and collective welfare are equally valued. The creative potential between these signs manifests particularly in breakthrough innovation. When Aries and Aquarius collaborate creatively, they produce work characterized by both originality and practical impact. Innovations that not only challenge conventional thinking, but actually improve real-world conditions. Their creative partnerships have launched revolutionary movements in science, technology, and social organization throughout history. Aries provides the courage to challenge established systems, while Aquarius contributes the visionary perspective that imagines entirely new paradigms. What ultimately distinguishes the Aquarius-Aries connection from other compatible pairings is its extraordinary fusion of personal sovereignty and shared purpose, elements often viewed as contradictory in relationships. They've discovered that the strongest partnerships don't require sacrificing individuality for unity, but rather create something greater than the sum of their parts through the synergy of distinct but complementary strengths. Their relationship doesn't constrain their potential, but exponentially expands it through combined vision and action. As we explore the four signs that naturally attract Aries, Aquarius represents perhaps the most evolutionarily significant, a cosmic catalyst that challenges Aries to expand their conception of what's possible while providing the systematic thinking needed to implement truly revolutionary change. Their connection reminds us that sometimes the most powerful relationships aren't those that simply support our existing path, but those that help us discover entirely new territories we might never explore alone. This innovative, freedom-honoring bond between the ram and the water-bearer represents the final of four powerful zodiac attractions that captivate Aries. Each offers different gifts, different challenges, and different pathways to growth. Together, they demonstrate the beautiful complexity of astrological compatibility, how different energies can create equally powerful but distinctly unique connections with the pioneering first sign of the zodiac. As we've journeyed through the zodiac to discover the four signs that truly captivate an Aries heart, we've unveiled a fascinating pattern of cosmic attraction that speaks to the complex nature of astrological compatibility. These four signs, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Aquarius, each connect with Aries in profoundly different yet equally powerful ways, creating relationships that foster growth, excitement, and fulfillment. The fiery Leo-Aries connection demonstrated how similar elemental energies can amplify each other's strengths, creating a relationship burning with passion, creativity, and mutual admiration. Their shared courage and leadership qualities forge a bond where both partners feel truly seen and celebrated for their authentic selves. The Leo-Aries dynamic reminds us that sometimes the most powerful connections come from finding someone who mirrors our own light back to us with even greater brilliance. In Sagittarius, we discovered how Aries finds a fellow adventurer whose philosophical depth adds meaning to the ram's pioneering spirit. Their connection, completing the fire sign trinity, creates relationships characterized by freedom, growth, and continuous exploration of both physical territories and intellectual frontiers. The Sagittarius-Aries bond shows us that lasting relationships don't constrain our horizons, but exponentially expand them through shared discovery. With Gemini, Aries encounters a completely different, yet equally compelling energy. An air sign whose intellectual versatility and communicative brilliance perfectly complement the ram's action-oriented approach. Their connection demonstrates how mental stimulation can be just as powerful as elemental similarity, creating partnerships that combine bold implementation with quick-thinking versatility. The Gemini-Aries relationship reveals that sometimes our most powerful attractions come from finding someone who brings entirely different gifts to the table. Finally, in Aquarius, Aries discovers a revolutionary visionary whose innovative thinking challenges the ram to expand beyond conventional boundaries. Their connection fuses individual sovereignty with collective purpose, creating partnerships that not only transform both people, but often leave lasting impacts on their communities. The Aquarius-Aries bond reminds us that the most evolutionarily significant relationships don't just support our existing path, but help us discover entirely new territories we might never explore alone. Together, these four signs create a cosmic quartet that addresses different aspects of Aries' multifaceted nature. Leo speaks to their need for recognition and creative expression. Sagittarius fulfills their hunger for meaning and adventure. Gemini satisfies their intellectual curiosity and need for mental stimulation. Aquarius answers their desire to make a revolutionary impact and transcend limitations. Understanding these natural affinities offers valuable insight, not just for Aries individuals seeking compatible partners, but for anyone interested in the deeper patterns that underlie human connection. While sun sign compatibility provides just one dimension of astrological matching, these four relationships consistently demonstrate particular power and resilience when they appear in synastry charts. For those who followed this exploration at Secret of the Zodiac, we invite you to continue the journey with us. Our channel dedicates itself to uncovering these hidden cosmic patterns that influence our relationships, careers, and personal development. The universe speaks through these ancient symbols, and learning their language can transform how we navigate our most important connections. If you found value in this astrological insight, please consider supporting our work through several meaningful actions. Subscribe to Secret of the Zodiac to ensure you never miss our daily zodiac revelations and relationship analyses. Leave a comment sharing your personal experiences with these Aries connections, whether you're an Aries yourself or have had significant relationships with this pioneering sign. Your stories help create a community of cosmic explorers sharing wisdom. We also invite you to explore our previous videos examining other zodiac connections, compatibility patterns, and astrological insights. Each piece adds another dimension to your understanding of how celestial energies influence our earthly experiences. The more deeply you explore this ancient system, the more precisely you can apply its wisdom to your own relationships. For those wishing to support our work more directly, please consider using YouTube's Super Thanks feature. This financial contribution helps cover the production costs associated with creating daily astrological content of this quality and depth. Your support allows us to continue researching, writing, and producing these cosmic explorations without compromise. Every contribution, no matter the size, directly enables us to create more of the content you value. The stars have guided humanity for thousands of years, offering wisdom about our deepest connections and most significant life patterns. At Secret of the Zodiac, we're committed to translating this ancient knowledge into practical insights for modern relationships. Join us as we continue to decode the cosmic language written in the heavens. revealing how these celestial patterns illuminate our most important human connections. Until our next astrological journey, keep watching the stars. They've been watching over us since the beginning of time, and their ancient wisdom continues to guide us toward our most fulfilling connections.